Okay, this is a quick demonstration of how Logixone CRM works with Zoho Inventory and allows my sorry, to be able to manage not only the jobs for their field service installers, but also the inventory that exists on their trucks. So the system, as already described, basically you have um, CRM here, which is actually doing all the job scheduling, and then also Zoho Inventory, which manages all of the inventory items. But the two are linked, and this is the key to it. So if you have a look here, you can see these items here, and you can see their purchase rate and the manufacturer and the SKU and all that information is actually synchronized to the CRM. So if I go into the products module, you can see here that those items are all basically synchronized. The stock count, the unit price, the manufacturer, the product name and SKU. And also this tick box here means that the operator or the field service tech can actually add these items additionally into any jobs that they need to complete. All right, so hopefully that's clear. But basically, the items inside the inventory system are synchronized with the items or products inside the CRM. Okay, so, but if we go back into the inventory system, from here, we can manage all our inventory. And we can manage our inventory on a per warehouse basis. So if I click settings and I go to warehouses, you'll notice that we've created two additional warehouses, My AutoGate 1 and My AutoGate 2, and you can call these whatever you like. And our assumption is that you would basically, these would be your trucks on the road. And you can assign, and you can send, create purchase orders and purchase stock and put it directly into these warehouses, or you can put it into a master warehouse and then transfer it, or you could transfer between the two warehouses. So this is basically how all the stock is managed. So if I go back into the items list, and let's say I want to purchase some items, what I can do is I can click the items that I want to purchase, and then I can go and do a purchase order. All right, and you can see that it's already put the purchase rate in, any tax that's applicable. It'll tell us what stock on hand. You'll see that it's actually putting it into the Indonesian warehouse, which is not what you want. You want to actually put that into My AutoGate 2. All right, so when that stock gets receipted, it will go directly into My AutoGate 2. And then what I can do is add the stock here. So that's default is obviously 1, but let's say we want 15 of those, and we want 10 of those, and we want, let's say 50 of those, okay? And then we'll save that as a draft. Sorry, need to select the vendor. So we'll just select this test one for the moment, and we'll save that as a draft. Okay, so there we have a draft purchase order, and you can see here's the items, here's the total amount, and I can email that. I can print it as a PDF, send it to the vendor, obviously, and yeah, all of that information is there. And then what we'll do is we'll just mark that. I can click that button there. And do that, and then I can email it directly to the vendor, which is obviously it's saved the vendor information. That all basically exists in the vendors module here, but I'm just going to mark that as sent. Oh, sorry, wrong button. I'm going to mark that as issued. Okay, so now the purchase order has been issued to the vendor. Now you can convert that into a bill if you like, or you could directly go and receive that into stock. So let's say you sent that to the vendor and the stock's arrived, you can receive that. All right, and you can receive the amount here. So let's just say you didn't get 10, you actually got 15, you actually got 14 of those, and you got 9 of those. So you can receipt those into stock, and then you save them as received, okay? And so then what we can see is the stock has been received. So if I open up one of these items, you can see now that it's got 19 on hand, okay? And then I can click on stock location, and I can see here that we can see, if we change that to physical stock, we can see that my AutoGate 2 has 20 items in inventory. All right, so we could also go into the inventory system, and we can do a inventory adjustment. So we can do an inventory transfer if we want from one warehouse to another. We can do stock takes, all of that typical stuff that you can do with an inventory system you can do within Zoho Inventory. It's quite powerful for that sort of thing. So yeah, so basically that's what we've done. Okay, so we've created the purchase order, we've receipted that stock, and now that inventory is actually in stock. So I can go back to the inventory system, and you can see here, here's all the items that we've basically got in our system. And what we'll need to do is upload all of the items into here, and you can create items here, but you can create template spreadsheets to import those into here. Okay, so basically the items are there. Now, that's managing the inventory very quickly. There's a lot more the system can do that obviously we would happy to go through with you, but basically that's how you would create purchase orders and receipt stock and assign them to your individual trucks or your master warehouse or however you want to do it. So now basically truck number 2 has got the stock. Okay, so now that we've created the inventory, let's now go and create a job for a customer. Okay, now let's have a look at how we use the CRM now to schedule a job. So on the left-hand side, I've got the CRM. In fact, if I open up here into Logixone, we can see this is the scheduling platform. And you'll notice that basically what I've done is created an operator called My AutoGate 1. And then we can have My AutoGate 2, My AutoGate 3, and so on. Now, on the right-hand side is the app, the operator app. This is what the field guys are using to get their jobs. Okay, so you can see here's a test one that I did, but let's run through the whole process. So let's just say, for example, that this customer approved us to go ahead with a quote. So let's open up that contact. I'm trying not to demo everything because if I do, this video will take too long. I'm trying to just focus in on the process of creating jobs, allocating them to the field service guys finishing them, the invoice going to the customer, and the stock being adjusted. So what we'll do is we'll just take a sample quote that I did before. So you can see I'm in the contact. I'll just go back again. So you can see I'm in the contact Peter Smith under contacts, and you can see on the left-hand side that here's the quotes that we've done for Peter. And here's a quote that I did before, and you'll see it's already got his address and information, and it's already got all the items that we're going to quote. Okay, so what I'm going to quickly do now is just as an example of how quickly you can quickly clone this quote. Okay, so we quickly cloned it, and we'll call this new gate quote 2. You see it's already associated to the customer and the account, the billing and shipping address information there, and so is all of the items. And I could quickly go in and change this to say 2 of those. All right, and let's just save that. And then what I can do is I can email that to the customer. And from here, I can choose from a range of templates that I want to send. So I'll just choose the default template now. And you can see here that as it builds, you'll see it's got the company logo, and we can customize this template to include information such as your terms and conditions, the fields that you want the customer to see, all the layout information can change. You can put images in it, you name it, and you could have a template for different product sets if you like. So if it's about domestic gates, then this has got a more of a domestic feel, or if it's a commercial gate, then it's got more of a commercial feel, and you would just choose them from here. Okay, but I'm going to choose this one now, and I'm going to click next. All right, and now what you'll see it's done is it's basically taken that quote, built it into a PDF, and now I'm going to send that to an email. But instead of just typing here, what I can do is insert another email template and select the My AutoGates quote template, and you'll see that it's pre-populated with your imaging and text and the customer's name. You'll also see it's already put the subject in, okay? And then what I can do is actually just send that. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to be sent. You'll see now, here's the email that's associated with that quote, and basically that's gone to the customer. So what I'll do is I'll just jump into my email. All right, and here's that quote. All right, and so then I can, as a customer, I can respond and accept it, or do whatever you want to do. Okay, so now the quote's basically been accepted. We'll go back into the CRM. We can change, say, the status here to confirmed. All of this obviously can be modified to suit how you want it. So can the layout, the fields that are here, you name it. You can change that. Now, what we need to do now, this is a quote that's been confirmed. Now we can convert it into a job. We can, if required, do that automatically when someone changes the quote status to say confirmed or approved or whatever you want it to be. But let's just do that manually for now. So I'll convert that into a job or a sales order. All right, and so now I've got the job here. And now what I want to do as the operational team, I'm going to assign that to an operator. You'll notice that the job's already got the quote associated to it, the customer details, all of this information again can be modified to suit how you want it to be. The address information and all of the items that we need to be completed. Okay, so then what we'll do is we're going to now associate that to an operator. So let's just say we want the job to start, let's say next week at, sorry. Okay, we want the job to start on Friday. And let's say we want it to start at 8 a.m. Okay, and it's going to finish on the same day at 2 p.m. This doesn't have to be exact, by the way, and we're going to associate it to my AutoGate 1. Okay, and then we're going to save that. And this is only going to occur one time. It's not a repeat. If we wanted to a repeat every week or every month, we could do that. And we'll scroll down here. We'll just check the items. Okay, everything looks good. We've got the account details. We've got the address that we want to do the job, and we've got all of our items in here. Okay, so now what we can do is create the operator events. One thing I didn't do is what I'm going to do. So the events have been created. What I'm going to do is also request that the operator get the customer to sign the job when it's completed. So I'll tick that now. Okay, so that's been ticked. All right, so now the job's been created. If I go into Logixone Scheduler, and I come back here, you'll see there's that job there. And I can see that job. I can move it if I like. So I can move it to Saturday, but we'll move it back to Friday. I can change the time of it. And as I'm doing that, that's going to change the all of the details that go to the operator. I can also edit it from here, and I can change the owner or the operator of it, and I can add descriptive information in here as well. All right. You'll also notice that there's no ticks or little hazard signs here because this job hasn't been completed. All right, so you can see all of that basic information's there. And then if I go over into the operator app and I go to tomorrow, I'll just do a refresh. Okay, so there's that job that's occurred there. So you can see these two match up from 6 a.m. to 1 o'clock. My battery's going to go flat. Okay, so I'll do this quickly. So there's that job. So now the operator has the job. The operator can open the job and they can navigate to the job. All right, so it shows them how to get there. And then we'll go back into the job information, and then they can basically scroll down, and then when they get there they can also, if you've updated any attachments to here, so if I go into that job and I can add attachments here, so it could be plans, it could be images, you name it, they can be associated to that job here and they'll appear up here in the app as attachments, plus any notes that we put in here. But the operator can then check in when they get there and then begin to complete the job. So you'll notice that the location and check-in time's been recorded. And so now they can complete the job. They can enter the final amounts. Now you may already have added these information in. They can modify that here. Okay, and so basically they're ticking off what they've added there from the job details, or this could be just one item of it could be gate install or what have you. That can be basically be anything that's been pre-configured, or the guys can actually add in different items. So let's say they're going to add in another control board, okay, and then they're going to add items they can put in text fields here. They can update that. And now so you can add in, they're going to add in another item. Let's say the advanced wheel kit, and there's one of those, and they're going to add the item, and they're not going to put any text in there. So then they've got all their different items in, and then they're going to complete the job. Which excludes the flickering. That's the remote tool doing that. Now it's actually matched and said that the original quantity, the final quantities are different to the original. So it's doing a quick check there, but we'll just agree to that and we'll continue. All right, so now the job's been completed. And you can see here, we've got all the service items and the additional items that have been added. If the operator wants to add some images, they can do that. Just take a quick photo. Okay, upload that. They can also put any notes here if they like, and they can get the customer to sign it. And they'll save that. Okay, so basically that's been done by the operator. They've completed it. They've added the additional items. They've had the customer sign it, so the operator can put, or please follow up if as required. But job all good, and we'll save that. Okay, so the notes have been updated. So basically the operator, and then the operator can go back to their calendar, and you'll notice now that that job has been completed and it's green. And if we go back into Logixone, you'll see that there's a tick now that's up there, been applied to that job. So you can see that job's been completed, and then you'll see the completed number count has gone up to 3. These fields count that, and they go up automatically. I think I've shown you that you can see where the operators are physically located. So we can see here, we can also see what jobs they're at, but we'll go back to the calendar for now. And then what we'll do is we'll go back in here and we'll just basically refresh that. All right, and you'll notice now there is a completed invoice for that, and that's here. And if I open that invoice up, you'll notice if I go down to the bottom, There's those additional items that they've added, plus the final counts that have been entered by the operator on the field app. You'll also notice that it's got the completed location, the check-in location, a copy of the customer's signature. You'll see it's got the check-in time, the time to complete the job. So all of that completed information. There's the attachment of the photo that was uploaded by the operator. Sorry, my phone's going a bit slow. Where's the picture? Okay, there's that photo. Yeah, so all of that is basically there. Now, the last thing that you do is click this little button here called Sync to Zoho Books. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a corresponding invoice inside the inventory system and the finance system at the counts that have been calculated here. So I'm going to do that. And then you can see the invoice has been created. So I'll close that down. Now I can click that link and it will open up the Zoho Books invoice. But also if I go to inventory and I go to sales and I go to invoices, you'll notice there's that invoice and there's all those items that have been used by the operator on that particular job. And that is associated to that customer. You could send the invoice directly from here. You could also send the invoice from the CRM. It's up to you basically where you send it. Now, when that invoice is marked as sent, what it will do now is deduct these quantities from inventory. Now, right in this demo that we're showing you here, what it's going to do is take the stock from the default warehouse. It's not going to take it from the truck. So what we'll do when we implement your system, what we'll do is on this invoice here, you'll see that the operator is my AutoGate 1. And what we'll do is we'll write a little script that will basically say any invoices that get synced from the CRM into the inventory system that have that the operator is my AutoGate 1, deduct this from the my AutoGate 1 warehouse, and that will deduct that inventory from that truck. Okay, so you can see that then if you go into the inventory and items, okay, you'll see here that these items now, the stock count will change here. And if I go down to the warehouses, it will basically change here. Now, right now what it's doing is deducting it from the default warehouse, and that's because we need to make that change. But that's quite easy for us to do. Again, what we'll do is any invoice that gets created through this button, and also this button we don't have to have a button, we can do this automatically. That is, once the invoice is created here, automatically create a corresponding invoice in the inventory system, take the stock from the My AutoGate 1 warehouse, and send it to the customer, or do whatever you need to do. So yeah, I hope that helps detail how we can basically link inventory for different trucks through to the CRM, create the jobs, associate them to the operators, have the operators finish the job, have that exact information, what stock was used on each job, create an invoice for that, get completed information so that we can start to do dynamic reporting, such as how many jobs were done today, how many were not done, how many invoices, what's the total amount of invoices. All that information can be created here. And then how those invoices are then synchronized into the inventory system and the stock is depleted from the correct warehouse. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Please feel free to ask us any questions at all. Thank you.